Hey everybody, welcome to the POS Podcast. Tonight
Uh,
we have Saber and Jim. Saber doesn't have his webcam on though.
I'm eating food.
He's eating food, and also he's in a different area, so he doesn't have everything set up right now.
Sorry, guys. I'll have to see
Yeah,
my beautiful face next time.
yeah. So instead we have Emperor Palpatine
Do
for
it.
him.
I mean, it's not gonna be the same without the flexing, but
What is
Paleo can
Palpatine
flex.
flexing?
Paleo can flex this time. I'll
Oh
flex the
no.
next time. No, okay. I'm not gonna actually flex.
Um, and Tom, I think he's in Vancouver right now. He hasn't responded to me yet, but I think he's still there.
What's he
So,
doing in Vancouver?
his girlfriend's
Or
there.
like who he's doing in Vancouver.
Oh,
But no, his grandma
Uh,
died.
what?
I'm joking.
Oh, Jesus. He's watching right now. Like, I'm not coming back on this show.
No, he'd laugh at that. He would absolutely laugh at my joke. I know he would.
No, he would. He would. But yeah. Everyone tweet Tom, be like, "Why aren't you on the POS podcast?"
Do
But
it.
say I did. Say Saber did that. Don't say I did that.
Just tweet Tom, be like, Tom, is your grandma okay? And and if she's not, then I'm gonna feel really bad.
Well, then it's gonna freak him out, and he's gonna call his grandma, and she's like, "Oh, I watch the POS what cast?
Those losers on the internet.
It's not."
I
Anyway,
like strange magic.
strange magic. We just
Yeah, what?
The grandma's saying that,
Oh.
implying that she watches the show. Whatever. All right, what's going on this episode?
All right. Let's talk about things about the Super Bowl since I guess we watched it and there are a bunch of trailers for things.
Okay. The
We're-
one that I
we're-
was the most excited about was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and how they officially showed off Krang.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was cool. I like how it's more cartoony. This is clearly the first Ninja Turtle series specifically based on the cartoon.
Right.
Not the-
Agreed.
So I liked like the shot of him going on the plane with his tongue. That was a cool shot.
Yeah.
Well, I like how I never expected Krang. Was that the first time it was revealed?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was no one knew. Everyone knew they had a trailer, but no one knew if they were going to reveal it or not. So I guess that was a Super Bowl surprise. I guess I'm wrong. They're Super Bowl surprises.
That was nice. I love seeing like how Krang was staring in the stomach of that big guy. I forget his name. And then you see Krang's face. It's like, oh my
Yeah,
god!
it's the
like,
Mandroid, I think, is what it's called.
Android. Wow, sounds like a rejected Dragon Ball Z villain. But yeah, I love that. It was great seeing that. What else was there besides TMNT?
There was the big surprise. I guess the one thing that was there was a 10 Cloverfield Lane trailer which
That's
revealed a monster and the light
Oh,
up
there's a
house.
monster.
Yeah, I didn't even see that one.
They had a monster roar, but they didn't show a monster, and they showed more clips. Yeah, I didn't see that. I didn't watch the first half. I just watched um, right around when Beyonce was there and a little after.
But there was what's interesting is that how I'm going to assume the movie is not going to be filmed from the perspective of a cameraman, which I like that.
Yeah, I think that's more of just the times they are changing with that,
Yeah.
and it's just not as you can't really do that kind of a movie anymore. But it is weird that like I think it's the first sequel to a found footage movie that isn't in found footage. Have they done that before? I don't know if
Have
they
they?
have. Oh wait, Blair Witch 2. Never mind.
There's a Blair Witch 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh.
They showed the monster, right?
What, in Cloverfield or Blair Witch?
Blair Witch 2, I thought.
I haven't seen Blair Witch 2, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I haven't either.
But the one trailer that I was disappointed in was the Independence Day Resurgence ad,
Why?
and it's specifically because the Independence Day Super Bowl ad for the first one was so iconic, and it really started the trend of movie studios pushing a lot of movies on the ads on the Super Bowl. Like they had a few, they did have some before. Like it wasn't like Independence Day invented it, but it wasn't like what it's become since. In that we now have we have a whole segment on the podcast about like you could do that, and before you'd have like two, and it'd mostly appeal to people who watch football, and now it's like way more broader because of Independence Day when everyone saw the White House explode. And when I was watching it, I was like, there's nothing like iconic about it. And then I kind of started to think about that movie, and I realized, you know what I think the problem is that it's trying to do the Jurassic World Star Wars thing, but they didn't get a director who is younger, who grew up with Independence Day and loved it. They have the same people who made the first one. So I think that's probably the problem, maybe. But I also think just that ad wasn't an iconic ad. You know, it's like that no one was like.
I one thing that I will not forget, and it's just my opinion. Like, okay, like the majority of the trailer is kind of like, oh, it's a big old, explosions, poof, war. What got me though, that was really cool, was when they had the F-18 Blue Angels fly over the stadium and the aliens are pursuing after them. That was cool.
Well,
that was neat.
Okay, that's true. That was cool, but it wasn't like. I just don't think there's anything that made me. I don't think there's anything in that trailer that made you go, if you weren't already going to see it, change your mind. You know?
Well, it's not like it's. I mean, come on, it's not going to be like some groundbreaking, like, oh my god, like mystery or anything. It's going to be humans rallying together and fighting the aliens off. The end.
Well, I'm not asking for anything crazy. I just mean, like, I think it would have been cool if they had something like a really cool, iconic type of trailer that made everybody go like, holy shit. And, I don't know. Maybe I was asking for too much. It's just because the history was there. I felt like they should have done more. And then I was like, well, it's Roland Emmerich. It's kind of like more of just a typical Roland Emmerich movie trailer. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too much of a snoot. That's probably the issue.
No, I mean, it's fair. I feel like maybe during the White House explosion one back in the day, yeah, I mean, that's iconic. That's a very iconic scene in movie history, or not movie history, but it's iconic.
No, it is. It's like for disaster movies. I think it's one of the most iconic images. It is an image that like half the people who saw it in '96 saw it because of that image, because it was so like, whoa, they blew up the White House. Holy shit,
Yeah, that's a big deal.
I think. But that director, I wish he had. I don't know. Anyway, sorry, what were we gonna say?
No, maybe we should. I don't know. That's our piece. I'm gonna see the movie. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna mention something.
No, I'm gonna see it as well. I mean, I think it's still gonna do.
You see every movie though, so that doesn't count.
Yeah, I know.
See,
people have said that to me before, but I'm like, I'm gonna see it. And they're like, I mean, is that like? That's not that different. I don't know.
If you
but I guess also
I'm not gonna see it, I'd be shocked. Like, whoa.
I mean, I also the Will Smith thing I think could have been handled better.
Yeah.
That is all I'll say. I'll move on to
the Jungle Book trailer.
No, hold on. Before we do, I want to say I noticed an awkward surplus of Jeff Goldblum during the Super Bowl, and I'm okay with that.
Because of the apartments thing?
But he was great. I love him in the apartment thing. He's just like, I like how awkward he is in his delivery. But then there was also the commercial that had him in like the background. Like there's I guess they're going from celebrity to celebrity, and during that it panned to Jeff Goldblum's face. And I'm like, God, Jeff Goldblum is like all over the Super Bowl, and I'm okay with that.
Wow.
I love him.
No, he's out. I think people missed him last summer. I think a lot of this is pent up demand from him not being in Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Hopefully he's in the sequel.
Me too. I hope so. I like Jeff.
I'm curious what the deal is with that him and Samuel. Colin Trevorrow.
Colin Trevorrow?
You're cutting out pretty badly.
Yeah, you're pixely. Oh my god.
Turn off your webcam if you need to.
I'm just gonna turn it off.
Okay.
But yeah, Colin Trevorrow. He didn't want any original people in it, which was interesting that he didn't do that. The only person who was in it was B.D. Wong from the first Jurassic Park. Everybody else wasn't. So,
Yeah.
is my mic? Does it all sound better
Yeah, it
now?
sounds good now.
Okay. Well, anyway, you wanted to talk about the Jungle Book?
Oh yeah, because I see people mentioning that they think it'll be decent, and I watched the trailer earlier, and I'm like, how can you think that?
Well,
they're jumping out of
it-
the widescreen stuff. What was up with that?
what do you mean?
During the commercial, there was, I'm not sure if they're trying to emphasize like 3D or something, but some of the characters would jump out, I suppose, and they would be overlapped with black bars.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's. Well, I think I will say on the positive side of this trailer is that it was probably the best ad I've seen for that movie, but I still think it looks like hot garbage. So, I mean, it just doesn't. The thing is with the Jungle Book trailer, or the Jungle Book in general, is that, like, why are you. Like, it just doesn't seem fun, and Jungle Book is fun. And I don't get
looks
it, but.
too serious. Yeah, it wasn't supposed
Yeah.
to be. It's supposed to be, zapapone, zapadabadapdo, and cartoony and
Yeah.
goofy. And there was a certain seriousness to it all, like at the beginning with do 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 with the music in the background and the wolves, like about Shere Khan. I get that, but also it was fun. This one seems like big tigers and jaguars screaming at each other. Oh, it's just, I don't know. I'm getting tired of this super serious Disney.
Here's the
garbage.
thing that bothers me about the movie is, other than all that, because if they were going for a serious Jungle Book, like more like the book, then I wouldn't be that against it, because they'd be more basing it off the book than the Disney film. But they're basing it off the Disney film, and they're making it like serious, but also having it jokey, because there was some jokey things in there. And then the main thing that bothers me about it is the celebrity voices. They just do not fit at all.
No, they don't. It didn't seem like they worked well with the designs, and the mouths didn't even seem to work that well.
Yeah,
I was a little surprised by that.
Yeah, like Bagheera was like, "Run, Mowgli." He sounded so weird.
I mean, Idris Elba as Shere Khan was good, but then I was like, but Shere Khan is voiced by oh god, what was
That
it,
British
George?
fellow.
Yeah, he's
A
an
legend.
amazing actor, and he has such an amazing voice, and
Dude,
having.
oh my god!
I don't get the Disney remake thing. I just don't get it.
The voice
It's just
acting
something
and
that
the animation is so spot on.
yeah.
Shere Khan, there's a scene I love, and I'm sorry. By the way, I'm sorry if I keep interrupting you. I actually feel like I have.
No, it's okay. I think we have the same thoughts on this.
But like Shere Khan, when he's like doing the countdown for Mowgli, he's like, I'll give you the count of 10 until you and you can run for a sporting chance. 10, 9. No, I'm losing my patience. 3, 2, 1, rah! He just jumps at him, and I love that because it shows that Shere Khan is like almost like this devious, nefarious villain. I actually wouldn't even call him a villain. Antagonist, where like he's powerful and he knows it, but he's also got class, and I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the guy who voiced Shere Khan, his name's George Sanders, by the way.
Is he alive still?
No, he died in '72. But he's also in a great movie called Rebecca. It's just the thing with the Disney the live action versions is like I think they should really be thinking about. I understand if they make Cinderella or Jungle Book or they're making Beauty and the Beast and Maleficent, is like they'll make a lot of money, and I understand that, but like I kind of wish they would pick properties that kind of needed it more. Like I still think like Dark Crystal, or not Dark Crystal, Black Cauldron. Whoa, backing up. Black. Sorry. I still think Black Cauldron is their one property that it makes the most sense for. And like pick properties of movies that like people love, because all those movies all the Disney classics have high profiles. Pick one that you think you could do a good adaptation of and do it that way, but it just doesn't seem like they ever. There's not one of them that I'm excited by. You know, I don't really like any of them. So I'm not expecting to like this movie. I mean, it's done by Jon Favreau, but he hasn't made a good movie since Iron Man. And how long ago was that? I mean,
Long time ago.
8 years ago.
I mean, the other movies he's done, it's like Iron Man 2, Cowboys and Aliens. I mean, it's
Oh.
just like, oh, well, actually, Chef. I like Chef a lot. But everything else he's done is just his big budget stuff after Iron Man has not been as great, and I don't feel that much better about Jungle Book. So, and they're kind of releasing it in a weird slot. Like it kind of feels like they know this is a stinker. It's like it's like between Batman v Superman and Civil War. There's no way that's doing
Yeah,
well.
well.
Star Wars is
I mean-
so good that they don't care anymore. Whatever.
Yeah,
Speaking-
they're just. Well, that's apparently that's the problem. Sorry to cut you off. The problem with their slate now is they're so jam packed. They have a hard time placing new things. That's why Tron 3 didn't happen because they just didn't have a slot for it. So
Huh. But speaking of Civil War, there was also the Civil War trailer, which was very short and sweet, which
I missed
I
it.
kind of
What
liked.
happened?
it was good. It was a good
Yeah.
trailer. It got a cool shot of Tony Stark with like armor just on his hand, and I thought you had. I mean, I've been constantly impressed with the Civil War stuff. The trailer was really good. I thought it was probably my favorite Super Bowl ad, and I'm not being a Marvel fanboy. I actually really like how it's put together. But then, did you see the Batman Superman ads?
I didn't see that one.
I missed
So
that
it's-
too.
It's kind of a weird thing where it's about Turkish Airlines.
What?
And yeah, they're like these ads for Turkish Airlines, but they're airline commercials like visit Gotham and visit Metropolis. And like Bruce Wayne is helping advertise Gotham, and then Lex Luthor is trying to advertise Metropolis. And it was like I give them credit for it being a different, cool idea, but they weren't ads I want to watch ever again. It was just like, okay, you at least did something different, but I don't love it or anything, you know?
And they're like, producers, what were you thinking? And producers turn and go, we're producers. It's what we do. So,
What?
It's like for the Suicide Squad trailer, where it's like, we're bad guys. It's what we do.
You're bad guys. My butts.
Well, I mean,
when she leaned over, by the way, in that commercial and kind of showed her butt, I'm like, she doesn't have a butt, really. What's the big deal? Like, I'm just saying. She didn't have a butt, Jim. There was no Jim. The butt was not fat. All right.
Oh, Alec Greer on Twitter just tweeted us and said, "How dare you not mention the great Bill Murray and Christopher Walken?" And on a picture says, "I am not amused." Well, I like the Christopher Walken voice. It was a funny thing he said, but I'm worried. Bill Murray, I don't think it's a great. It's a good idea, but I don't love.
It's a good idea,
yeah,
but
yes,
when I see it in action, it's like, oh, this doesn't look like it's gonna be good at all.
No, it's I don't know. Oh, so what? Should we talk about the Jason Bourne surprise?
I didn't even
thing?
see that.
Well,
I just know it
okay,
happened.
So
I haven't seen any of the Bourne movies.
Well, so I'm not a huge Bourne movie fan, but the thing with this movie, since it's on the little picture here, so I feel like I should just say the things about it, is that this is the fifth one. It brings back Paul Greengrass, who did the second and third ones, and it kind of is a reboot for the franchise because I don't think Jeremy Renner is gonna be in this one at all. And he was, of course, in Bourne Legacy. I didn't see. Oh wait, I did watch it, and I got angry, and my wife made me turn it off.
Good wife.
Because she was just like, I can't listen to you just get mad at this movie. I was like, this is so fucking boring. Like, what the fuck? That's like me in every Bourne movie. There was like one of them, and they reveal how he lost his memory. I'm like, that's it? I would still remember shit if that happened to me. No, I don't know. It's like, anyway.
It's
sorry.
like the board identity.
Yeah, I've never been as into those, but I might try to just force myself to rewatch just the Matt Damon ones. Maybe I'll review them. I don't know. I should probably do that because they are kind of the big kind of post 9/11 action franchise, and they influence so much that I feel like I should probably know a little instead of me going like I don't like them. I was making funny motions. If the video was working, this would be hilarious.
I'm laughing anyway.
All right.
How do you spell the word "puo"?
Puo.
What?
P-W-O-A.
I
Puo.
don't even know.
Puo.
All right.
Is that all the trailers?
I think it is.
There was a secret. No, there wasn't.
There's what?
Oh, there was an X-Men trailer, which was.
Let's go to war.
It was an X-Men trailer, which proved to me that this X-Men movie will be the better version of X-Men Last Stand, which means it'll still be bad. And then there was an ad for Secret Life of Pets. Moving on.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about some movies. First, let's talk about Hail Caesar.
All right, I'll be here.
We're doing Hail Caesar before.
Yeah, we'll
Come
do
Through
that.
Town?
We'll do that first. Just
Which one? Hail Caesar.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess the thing now is, what did you didn't like it?
No, I liked it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
about the pizza place, right?
No, I liked it. I was just kind of underwhelmed by it.
Yeah, I've noticed that it seems to be the people who are really into the classic Hollywood stuff are going gaga for it, and everyone else is like, okay. But I think you have to say though of their comedies, everyone after Oh Brother Where Art Thou usually has not been that good, and I specifically mean Lady Killers, Burn After Reading, and Intolerable Cruelty were all like really bad. And like I don't like any of those movies. I don't know if you saw them, Paleo, or
No.
those. They're just like I like all their comedies, like Raising Arizona, Big Lebowski. Like they're straight comedies, not their. Obviously, all their movies are funny. I'm not stupid,
Yeah.
but but
No
I
Country
think,
is funny.
I think No Country's funny. You don't think No Country's
Well, I
funny?
mean, there are some scenes in there, I guess.
I think it's more. I mean, it's more of a musical comedy, I guess, but. I thought it was one of the better.
Wait.
What?
What?
Like it's a musical comedy.
What is?
Oh, did I say No Country?
Yeah.
I meant Right.
I was like, what are you talking about?
You mean No Country for Old Men? Oh, yeah, that's not a
Oh my
musical.
God.
That's not a musical or a comedy.
God.
I haven't seen
Oh my
that.
God! I
That's
can't
my
believe
favorite. My favorite rom-com is No Country for Old Men.
Okay, all right. Sorry, I meant. Jesus. No wonder you were like earlier. You're like, what are you talking about? And I was like, Paleo, what's your deal? I mean, the music's good, but it's still funny.
Even I was like, I'm like, what's he talking about? I'm pretty sure that's like.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a pretty dark movie.
I don't even know movies
when
that
he-
well. Even I'm like, wait,
When he uses that cow thing to that guy's head, hilarious. When Tommy Lee Jones has that sad monologue at the end, I was on the floor. No, okay. Okay.
Somebody should make like a quote thing for a DVD cover where it has Jim's quotes for No Country for Old Men.
yes.
This
A great family.
when he. Oh, I haven't seen that movie in too long to keep this joke going. But anyway, if I had seen it recently, I would give some more. I can't believe I did that. That's like the least funny of all of them. Oh God, it's been a long day.
That's like the least funny movie they've ever made.
Yeah. So
This is a crap
it's-
comedy.
it's still kind of funny. I mean, you know,
Jim.
Javier Bardem's haircut. What?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever start your Patreon?
Make
one. Hey,
Oh
Gordon.
yeah, Jim, you pledged to me. Thank you.
Yes, thank
Oh,
you,
no
Jim.
problem.
I want to
Oh,
pledge back
no,
to you and to Paleo. But by the
no,
way,
no comment on that
Jim,
right now.
listen. All right, you need a Patreon, and so I can give you $50 for your reward. That is, make a request, and I'm going to have you review Meet the Spartans.
Oh my god.
Oh, God. Uh,
Yes,
I'm already regretting thinking about doing the
Regretting thinking
Patreon.
about doing.
I want you to review that so badly. I want you to give it hell.
I may or may not be doing that soon. Not the Spartans thing, but a Patreon. But to 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 get back to semi Hail Caesar. But Hail Caesar, I mean, I liked it, but it does seem to be the classic Hollywood. The people who are into that stuff are going gaga, and everyone else, like people in the theater I went to, hated it, like
Really?
really hated it. And it
Hmm.
actually is a really bad score. Audience wise, they do these cinema score things, and I think it has a lower score than Bad Grandpa. So, yeah, so it's not doing well with audiences, but I don't think, but I mean, I like the classic Hollywood stuff and the
Ooh.
idea that Clooney's playing like Charlton Heston and
Yeah.
Channing Tatum's Gene Kelly. But the only people who are real people in it are Eddie Mannix, who Josh Brolin plays, and his boss, I think Nick Skank, who you don't even see.
Yeah.
So everyone else is like, there was no Capitol Pictures and stuff.
Yeah, I
So
just looked up the Rotten Tomatoes on it. It says 80%. It's certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, but the audience score is 48.
yeah, audiences don't dig it. Well, the thing is, I think that movie was classic Hollywood in a way that people aren't.
Yeah, when I went to go see it, there were a lot of old people, but um, and I went to go see it with my mom, and then after the movie was over, my mom said I didn't get that movie. So
Well, I think because it's more about them playing around in all these classic Hollywood things than it is about the plot.
yeah,
And that's kind of a weird. It's weird with the Coens, they purposefully do all these things that was typically something people would think is bad writing, but like they do it in like interesting, odd ways. So it's not actually bad writing, but I think because it's so unconventional,
yeah,
I don't think.
unconventional writing.
Yeah, but it is stuff that like a bad writer would do, but they'll do their structures in such a weird kind of strange way that it I mean they always get it to work, but I think most writers when they start going down that avenue, it goes straight to shit town, and they take a left to crazy, you know.
Yeah,
That makes sense? Anyway, that's how I got to the dominoes.
yeah. The
Those are the
no,
directions.
no, the two scenes that I really liked in the movie though were the scene when he was talking to the religious leaders about
Oh yeah,
whether Hail Caesar is offensive to like
that's a good.
Christianity.
I just like that. Yeah, the theory's like, well, I thought the chariot scene could have been better, and you're
Yeah, the
like,
chariot seems kind of fakey.
it's like what? But someone brought up an interesting. I was listening to a podcast and they brought this up, and I've read it in a couple places as well. Is that they bring up the idea that the Godhead, I think they say, or God should never be seen on screen,
Uh-huh.
like you never see him, and they brought up that obviously in this movie they're saying Nick Skank is God because you never see him.
Oh.
And I
Yeah,
was like,
that's
oh,
interesting.
that's interesting because he was like the money guy for I think MGM,
Hmm.
because Capitol Pictures is made up. But because it's interesting because it exists in a world where Clark Gable and they mention real movie stars,
Right.
but the only real people in it are Mannix and Nick's Skank or Skank. I just know his last name Skank, which is a really funny last name.
Yes.
But yeah, so that there's some interesting things that I'm gonna see it again. It's also, by the way, if you're a super film dork, it's the first time the Coens have worked with the DP Roger Deakins, who's shot like Fargo, and it's the first time they worked with him in a couple movies, I think, and he's really good. He shot Skyfall and a bunch of stuff. So he's amazing. But they actually shot Hail Caesar on film because they felt they couldn't shoot it digitally if it was going to be about classic Hollywood. So it was kind of a big. It's basically if you're a really big dork who likes TCM, this is the movie for you. But I still think it's a good comedy. It's just like it's very weird, and I don't know if like people are that into it. But apparently they steered it away from award season because they thought it would just bomb during that time. So I think people will check it. I mean, there's a lot of funny scenes. The Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah, that was the other scene I was going to mention where the character Hobie Doyle's like trying to do his scene and it just keeps failing.
Yeah, I think the one thing I mentioned this in my review, but I think it's still funny that when you see people shooting a movie in a movie, they don't present it like how you'd actually shoot a movie. They do it in a way that's like you see like this whole scene with all these cuts, and clearly they would have had to have 20 setups and would have taken 2 weeks to film. But then it's like in the movie they break from reality. But that's kind of a classic Hollywood thing. Like Bubsley Berkeley would do that, where it'd be like, we're gonna watch this show on a stage, and it would have like all this tracking shots and all this crazy shit. So, but anyway, sorry. I'll stop talking about this dorky movie. But if you like the Coens, I think it's cool. But it is a little out there.
Yeah. All right, next movie. Let's talk about Kung Fu Panda 3.
Yeah.
Do they eat dumplings? This is important to me. Do they eat dumplings in the movie?
Yes, they do. They eat a lot of dumplings.
Yay.
So there's something I learned about Kung Fu Panda 2 while researching, because I rewatched the first two before I saw this. Or I hadn't seen the
so did I.
Or I'd seen the first one, but I hadn't seen the second one, and I had a newfound love for the series after rewatching them. But the second one, I found out, is like the highest grossing film worldwide, directed by a woman, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. And then I went, wait, that was 5 years ago. Why did I just find out about that? That like made me go, holy shit, what the fuck? Like, but
pandas need feminism.
She co-directed the third one. But she's the only credited director on the second one, and so she's the high, because Frozen was co-directed by a woman, and same with I think Shrek and a couple other animated movies, but this is the only one where it's the sole credit is for a female, is the highest grossing one. So, but I think 2, like, she's a really good director, because 2, some of the shots are amazing. Anyway, I just wanted to say that about 2. Moving on to 3. Sorry.
Yeah. So 3. 3 I feel like is probably the weakest of the trilogy.
Definitely.
But it's still good, I would say.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's the stakes just didn't work as well. I don't think it meant as much. And the second one, because the thing is like at the first one you think there's no way you can really make a sequel to this, and they did it. But I don't think they had the momentum. Like, I get you had to do the dad thing because of the way the second one ended.
Yeah.
But it just didn't really make a lot of sense. Like, I kind of think they should have maybe just done a random adventure and let go of the Poe arc. Mm-hmm. Because, like, it just, like, felt like they kind of did the whole panda thing in the second one, and that worked a lot better. And this, it didn't really work, and I don't know. It didn't work as well. I still thought it was great, and it was a gorgeous movie, but yeah.
Like let's see, let me find the name. Catyam HD said in the chat, it felt really fast paced, and yeah, I agree with that. It felt a lot, it had a lot faster pace than the other two, because it felt like I was going like joke to joke throughout Kung Fu Panda 3, where the other two didn't really feel as jokey as this one.
Yeah. I think the first one did a bit, but this one felt like they're maybe a little more insecure. But I don't know. I mean, I'll still see Kung Fu Panda 4. Apparently they've said they want to do 7.
7?
Which is like,
I thought it was 6.
Well, it was 6? Okay, sorry. Yeah. Well, that's Katzenberg was like, I want to do as many as I can. Because I guess the guys who did How to Train Your Dragon are like, no, we're stopping at 3. But Kung Fu Panda, I guess, doesn't have the same person in charge of it. So Katzenberg's like, no, I'll make as many of these as I can. And they're huge in China, so.
Yeah. Yeah, let me see how much it's actually made in China now. Because for this one, they actually
Oh yeah, it's co-produced in China.
Yeah, it's
right?
a co-production with DreamWorks Oriental.
Yeah,
And,
which is the reason they did that was so it doesn't count as an import, so they can release more movies in China. So it's purely financial.
That's smart though. I mean, China's it's gonna be a big market.
Yeah, it's actually made more in China than it has here.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's made over 100 million there. It's made 69 million here.
Damn.
Wow.
So far.
You also, the other thing to take into account is if you're a film that's made in China, you actually get to keep more of the money than if you import it. You have to give a certain amount back. You can't keep as much of the money. So for financial reasons, this movie really worked out.
Yeah.
But apparently in China, Kung Fu Panda is as popular as Mickey Mouse.
Really?
Which is insane. And in China, Jackie Chan plays the Bryan Cranston part.
Really?
Yeah, I read that. So apparently he's the first person in the franchise to voice a character in 2 different languages.
Huh.
So
Was
that's pretty
he
cool.
both the Bryan Cranston character and was he also
Monkey?
Yeah, I actually wasn't sure what the deal is with that, but maybe he does. I was kind of unclear about that. But it is pretty rare. Like when Vin Diesel did it for Guardians of the Galaxy, he actually recorded "I Am Groot" in like a ton of different languages. So like, because he wanted it to still say Vin Diesel in Guardians of the Galaxy. So like, I think like he did all the "I Am Groots" or quite a few of them. So I know he didn't like the major languages. Probably not Esperanto, but
yeah, I know that one thing that DreamWorks Oriental did was, or Oriental DreamWorks, I'm not sure which you call it, but they animated it to where the lip syncs and also gestures would be Chinese rather than American.
that's interesting.
Yeah, so they took the extra effort to do that. I thought that was neat.
I wonder if there'll be a DVD with that cut, but with the American voices.
Huh.
That'd be interesting. They should do that. I mean, why not? If they have it, it'd make a cool DVD Blu-ray feature.
Yeah. All right. Next thing, I watched a thing last week, or I guess last week.
What did you watch, Paleo?
The Land Before Time 14.
Let's talk about it, Haley. What happened? What did you see in there?
Well, I saw Littlefoot and Sarah and Ducky and Spike and Petrie.
Wait, did they manage to get the voice of Sarah back?
I don't think so.
Was her voice actor gone?
No, that was a fucked up joke. I'm sorry.
No, you mean Ducky.
Yeah, you mean Ducky.
Oh, god damn
Because
it.
Ducky was the one that was murdered.
That was Ducky. By the way, I finally learned the entire story for that.
Oh, really?
What?
Yeah.
Why she was murdered?
Yeah, it was the father, of course, and the reason why is because he had a ego problem where I guess people kind of laughed at his career, and he snapped one night and he shot her in her sleep. The mother woke up, ran in the hallway. He shot her in the hallway. He waited for 2 days with their bodies in the house, and then he went to the garage and killed himself.
Whoa. So, Land Before Time 14.
Yeah,
huh?
Land Before Time 14. Yeah, it
stars.
released on DVD at Walmart, and also it released online on Netflix.
Well, what happens, Paleo?
Well, Littlefoot's dad, he apparently has a dad.
Well, what to bring everybody up to speed on the Land Before Time franchise? In which movie does his dad show up?
I think it's the 9th one. I can't remember.
Really? Wow, that deep, huh?
Yeah, because
wow.
I only watched up to 8 or 9 when I was a
Poor
kid. But apparently,
Which one?
in between 9 and 13, his dad shows up.
I've always wondered though, is there what sequel? Obviously the first one's the best. We get it.
Yeah.
Which one after that is the best?
I don't know. I'm kind of partial to 5 though.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I've just always wanted to ask.
What's in 5? What happens in 5?
It's the big water thing.
That was 5?
Yeah, that was 5.
After the Pixar series is over, do the Land Before Time movies, please.
Dude, I want to do like a mega review where I review all of them.
Like, make it like 2 minutes on each movie, like really long. I would watch the shit out of that.
Yeah, and there's also a TV series that came out in 2007.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and
Don't have a pink dinosaur who joined their ranks.
yeah, it's Ruby. But yeah, in 2007, they kind of stopped for whatever reason, and now they're back.
Wait, 2007? Isn't that right around? That's right around the time Obama became president. Thanks, Obama. Clearly, they knew he was going to be against Land Before Time movies, and they.
To be clear, dinosaurs aren't real. They never will. What's funny is
he was always more of a Sarah than a Littlefoot,
No. I think he's more of a Littlefoot. I think John McCain.
No, he is. He's wow. I like Sarah's like. Let's not. Come on. Obama's a Littlefoot.
He's a Republican or Democrats are Littlefoots.
Wow, that's interesting. That
Libertarians.
3 whores don't play with long necks.
But Spike is actually a communist. If you really get down to it.
Well, I mean, he expects everybody to do work for him, so yes. Maybe he's more of a socialist. I don't know, whatever.
Anyway, sorry.
Anyway, yeah, in this movie, like, Littlefoot's dad shows up. Well, not in this movie. He showed up before, but there's like a backstory in the beginning to get you up to speed. Because apparently his dad shows up like every spring because of this migration that goes on with a herd that he's in.
Gang.
And he doesn't come back this one spring, so Littlefoot goes out to find him, even though all the adults are like, no, don't do it, it's too dangerous. So him and his friends do that.
Wait, is the acting as good as you just did it?
Wait, no, don't go. How about I do anyway?
No, it's not that bad, really.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
sorry.
it's
We're being dicks.
it's kind of dumb, but it's not that bad. It's not like North of the North or anything.
I mean, it's not like Land Before Time 11 bad. It's like Land Before Time 12 bad, right?
Jim, I told Paleo this, and I want to tell you my idea. When they finally have the finale for Land Before Time, they call it the Land Before Time. Time's up.
Ooh, I like it. I like it because time. You know what? They should be like time starting. That could be it. Get Jesus involved. It'll be awesome.
He's got an AK-47 just shooting the dinosaurs. You will never existed.
Okay, so what happens since we haven't let you get past the setup?
No, it's fine. Like that's pretty much it. They go find his dad, rescue his dad, and they meet up with
what happened to his dad? What happened?
And they meet up with Reba McEntire. I said it right that time. Somebody corrected me.
Wait, the country singer?
Yeah, the country singer
is actually in this movie.
She's she's a pteranodon.
Oh, okay. No, I imagine like they were just there and they find his dad and they're like, Reba McEntire.
Not even dinosaur form. She's just herself.
That'd be hilarious.
I love dinosaurs.
But yeah, like he was like trapped underneath these rocks because this volcano started erupting.
So natural selection was doing its job, and Littlefoot messed it up.
Wow, that's a good point. What if Littlefoot's the reason that we have global warming? Think about it.
Oh.
Damn you, Littlefoot, and your willingness to not die already.
Somebody said it should be like the end of the Dinosaurs TV show. Where the apocalypse happens.
I like that idea.
Alright, but yeah, that's just something I wanted to mention because it's interesting that they started making Land Before Time sequels again. after a 9-year hiatus.
Yeah. So are they? When's 15 coming
I
out?
don't know.
guess?
Sometime next year, I guess, if this does well.
Well, I get if it does well, and there's still those Jurassic Park movies or
Yeah.
Jurassic World movies,
So
So,
dinosaurs are coming back. Yeah.
well,
It'll
Not
be like the
really.
I
early
mean,
90s again.
maybe it'll be like because Dinosaur didn't do great. I'm curious if this one will, but maybe the budget was so low, or I don't know. But do they number it? Do they number this one?
Yeah.
Oh, it does say at the beginning, Land Before Time 14.
Yeah, Land Before Time 14, Journey of the Brave.
Wow. You see,
And they're always in Roman numerals.
you'd think they'd stop numbering them like James Bond movies or something.
Yeah, I think they did for a while, at least on the DVD covers, but they still like have it.
Oh,
somewhere.
on the title?
Yeah.
Or something? Oh,
I
okay.
can't wait for them to get to Land Before Time 30. Land Before Time Triple X.
Because I would always like to imagine there's one of the sequels is like really good, but I know that that's probably not true.
Yeah,
but
like none of them are really good. They're they're just like, eh,
Dude, if you
it
want,
was
if you want to
it-
blow my mind, like make a sequel that's going to do with Littlefoot's mom. Like,
ooh, the early years of her, like how she became a prequel. I like this. I
the
like.
like
land
the-
before time.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yeah, the land before the land before time. Yeah.
Land Before Time for real this time.
The even more before time, land before time, but only
Alright.
by like 30 years.
All right,
30
let's
years before Land Before Time.
all right, let's move on to
Land Before Money.
Ooh, wait, maybe high concept here. Maybe Littlefoot's mom was actually a human, but then a time warp situation happened and she got sent back in time and transformed into a dinosaur.
But that passion on the paper, Jim, is brilliant.
Thank you, thank you. If anyone wants to contact me to develop this further for a prequel, I'm very open to it. Paleo's just like, that's a horrible idea. I don't want that.
I think it's a really good idea.
Look, I think Jennifer Lawrence would love to play the part, so I think
my
it'll
God.
be huge. That part can be live action with the
Wow.
human, and then she'll transform. This
so
is
it'll
just
be like
getting...
Avatar.
No, it would Paleo. This is revolutionary. This is way better than Avatar. No, I would get Don Bluth back. He hasn't had anything to do with the sequels, right?
Stop
No.
drinking, Don. We need your help.
All right. Let's move on to an awards show that happened over the weekend.
This should be fun.
Yeah, the Annie Awards, which is the 43rd Annie Awards. It's the awards show for animation and all things animation.
Mm-hmm.
AKA Inside Out wins everything.
Yeah, Inside Out
Yeah.
won everything.
How many did it win?
It won like a ton of awards. I think it's won like over 10. Let me see.
There's a
Not
great
really.
there's a great part during the ceremony where I told Taylor this during when we were watching it. Like I love cringe videos. I like watching cringe. Whether it's weeaboos or bronies or whatever, just great. But there's a certain type of cringe that is awards or show cringe, because these are
Yeah,
multi-million-dollar events that should not be screwed up. But you see the awkwardness of these actors and hosts as they go on stage, and it's just awful. And there's only one person who's a saving grace, and that was Tom Kenny when he got up there and did his thing.
Yeah.
And during it, after he announced the award for whatever, it was Pixar who won it with Inside Out. When they were walking on stage, he goes, "Geez, when are we just gonna rename this to the Pixies?"
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, he said that. That's
No, looking at these awards, most of it went to Inside Out.
Yeah.
And even Good Dinosaur won one, which is like, Jesus.
Yeah, it won the one for best animated effects in an animated feature.
what it
But-
deserves.
Apparently, Takahata won a juried award. I guess it's like an honorary.
Oh yeah,
career-
they give those out every year to like a certain industry icon. The
Yeah.
Windsor McKay Award. Yeah, it's for their
Oh.
career and contributions to the art of animation. So
Well, the weird thing about Taka. Oh, what were you gonna say?
they give like 2 or 3 every year to someone.
It's a good year to do Takahata because only yesterday is finally getting released.
Yeah.
At the end of this month, right? So, But it's weird that when they have to do trailers for his movies, they basically go from Studio Ghibli and from movies Takahata didn't do, and you're like, what the hell? Like, why don't you just sell it on him? But I guess no one really knows who he is, so oh well. I mean, there'd be no Studio Ghibli without Takahata,
Yeah.
as well as Miyazaki. It was both. Anyway, sorry, but I saw Bob's Burgers one too, Mickey Mouse
Yeah,
one.
BoJack should have won that one.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't hate Bob's Burgers, but I kind of feel like it's a little overrated.
Yeah.
It's like there's so many better shows on than Bob's Burgers. But Gravity Falls won for directing. Oh, that's cool.
Wait, what one for directing?
I don't think
Gravity Falls.
because Alex would have gone on stage
Oh.
for that. It was something different.
It was directing in an animated, outstanding achievement in directing in an animated TV/broadcast production.
Really?
Oh
That-
yeah, Gravity Falls. Did they get that? Let's see.
It says they did on Cartoon.
Oh yeah, they did.
And Boy in the World won Best Animated Independent Feature, and Wonder Over Yonder won. But most of it's just Inside Out, Inside Out, Inside Out.
Yeah.
Inside Out.
Yeah, Inside Out was nominated for 14 different things, and they won 10.
I mean, it's not too surprising because Pixar's already always dominated the Annie Awards, but I guess it's because it's been a while since they've just been so omnipresent.
Yeah.
But I still think the thing with Inside Out is that Pete Docter didn't leave to do like what Brad Bird and Andrew Stanton did and leave to make a live action film, and he stayed and then developed Inside Out. So it's almost like if Stanton and Brad Bird had stayed at Pixar, what would that world be like? And I guess Inside Out's like, yeah, actually. Well, I like Ghost Protocol a lot. I will say that. That's a really good movie. But for Andrew Stanton especially, it'd be a lot better. I mean, Jesus.
What did he do? John Carter?
Yep.
Oh.
Out.
I haven't seen that, but
Inside Out's, I mean, credit where credit's due. It is a very excellent movie. They deserved it.
No, I think they do. I would have liked Anomalisa to get something.
yeah.
I really like that, but.
Oh yeah, there was I think it was either directing or writing. Anomalisa was up for, and I think it was for directing, and I was like, they should have got that to Anomalisa.
Yeah, it's like how many? I mean, I get it's Pete Docter and he's a genius, but I don't know. Just it does remind me of the thing people hate about Pixar is that they just win so often. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
They did
So,
have
it's like,
what?
oh, sorry, I stopped because you were saying something.
I was gonna say that the first people they had to present the awards up there were Charlie Kaufman and Duke Johnson, so that was neat.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Did Hellenbach get a mention?
no,
They didn't mention Hellenbach.
they didn't mention that at all.
I noticed Hellenbach not bad enough to compete with Strange Magic as being the worst animated film of 2015. So it's like forgotten for being bad, but just not bad enough.
Yeah, not bad enough.
Not bad enough. It's like
That's
it's
the
not
quote.
good.
That's the quote on the DVD cover. Not
You're
bad
gonna,
enough.
someone already made the No Country one. You're gonna make
Really?
somebody's gonna quote it. Yeah. They tagged you in it. It just says at the top. It says that monologue at the end had the audience.
I'm gonna retweet that.
I like the New York Times quote they put is like could have used more old men, but it was hilarious.
That's great.
But yeah, the Hellenbach people aren't gonna appreciate us kicking their movie while it continues to be down.
Yeah.
They deserve it.
So, oh yeah, there was one other thing that happened during the Annie Awards. Like after they presented the award for the best television production for preschool children, the lady presenting, I'm not sure who she was.
She's famous. Though.
Yeah, some famous person, but she said, "I just have to say this: to be in the presence of such fucking brilliance," and she like emphasized the fucking.
Oh,
And it was like, it was after she presented the award for television production for preschool children.
I was in stitches because Paleo like grabbed the mic and he's like,
Yeah, I was like, for preschool children.
It wasn't censored. It's like, wow, this is for crying out loud. Linus, the child voice actor for Linus was presenting that.
Yeah, like
10 minutes ago.
the VAs for Linus and Lucy were just up there.
It's embarrassing. It's like, Jesus, old lady, someone's hitting the bottle a bit early.
Well, that's the problem when you talk to people. Anyone who's a normie, as Pan Pizza always says, about animation is they either go it's for kids or they don't know enough about it but think it's really brilliant and they go way too far and you're not sure how to take it. Because there's one time I was at a brunch with myself and a bunch of friends who were animators in college, and my mom's friend, because like my mom was in town and her friend took us out for a meal, and her friend was like, isn't it crazy like what they can do like with computer, like it's so crazy, right? And like, yeah, it's pretty crazy. And she like wouldn't let it go, and everyone was like, oh my god, when is this gonna stop? And it's like we're like, I mean, her enthusiasm great, but it's always super uncomfortable when they're like if you said anything like, yeah, you're doing God's work, you know. She might have not said that. I went a little too far.
You're doing God's work.
Yeah, and then like, and then the people after them were like, okay, now for the television production for children. I thought we already did that. And they always do that. Like in every Annie Awards, I swear, they always say that. They really need to change it. Because they have one for like preschool children, which is stuff like like that Tumbleleaf thing from the Amazon. It's like, you know, like PBS stuff.
By the way, there's also the awkwardness where this could have been good but ended up being horrible. Was the actor from District 9, the main actor, the guy from Johannesburg, whatever, South Africa. He gets up there with his...
Copley, I think. Charlton Copley.
That sounds African enough to me, whatever. So there's another guy who's actually black up on stage as a voice actor. And they decided to make these like black jokes, and it kept going on and on and on. And it's like, oh my god, this is getting painful. Like, how do you segue out of this? It was really awkward. It was bad, Jim.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wish I could have seen it. I was at work.
Yeah, you should have watched it with us.
What time is it on?
It was on at like 10 on Saturday? Was it Saturday or Friday? I can't remember.
Oh, okay. I think it was a Saturday because I remember your tweets and I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
I don't see, the problem is like if it's not the Oscars, I usually get kind of drunk when I watch an award show because I can't stand them. But like the Oscars, I stay sober so I can wear my tux and shoot a video right after. So
nice.
Because I don't want to do a video and be like, "What's the Oscars? The racists?" Ah. I actually watched the Red Letter Media, the Revenant video, and not to spoil the whole video, but I'm gonna do that. At the end, this guy just walks in and goes, "I got raped by a bear, and I'm white," and then it just was a picture of him with an Oscar, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's the best thing I've heard about white Oscars."
That was Rich Evans, I think.
It's just like, oh, did you do something crazy for this role? Oh, and you're a white person. Okay, you win. It's like...
One thing I was really bothered by was they had best special effects for like a character, like I guess CGI, and they picked the bear from The Revenant. I'm like, yeah. Holy crap! How can you not like pick Smog from like?
Well, that wasn't this year.
Yeah, the weird thing is why that was even nominated. Because they nominated The Hobbit: Battle of the Five Armies, even though it wasn't a 2015 or 20.
Oh wait,
no, Smog was in the Battle of the Five Armies at the very beginning.
Yeah, but that's not a 2015 film. It's 2014.
That's 2014. Yeah, actually.
I don't even know why that was nominated.
Oh no, I thought when you brought that up, like you just randomly that was nominated.
No, 2015 did have the Battle of the Five Armies.
It came out in 2014.
It was 2014. It was December 2014.
Yeah, December 2014.
Oh, you're right, guys.
That's so weird. No, that's why. Sorry, I was confused. What you said, but like I would have even. I didn't. Not that any of us like Chappie, but I would have nominated that because at least technology wise,
Oh yeah,
we're just
yeah,
talking
that
about pure animation. It was well done.
yeah, yeah. Chappie. Somebody told me that Chappie's effects were terrible, and I was like, what?
No, that was Charlton Copley doing
Yeah,
that. But I think there are other like the Hulk was pretty good. I don't
yeah,
think
yeah. That was also nominated.
what did Andy Serkis? He did something this year, right?
And also Jurassic World's stuff I thought was good.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
Andy Serkis was in Star Wars. Duh.
yeah, but they had two separate categories for live action because there's live action characters and then live action of effects or animated effects.
Oh, okay.
And Age of Ultron won that one for
Oh.
animated effects. But
I can.
for character animation, it was the bear and the Revenant. And I like how afterwards after they said the nominees, Tom Kenny was like, "Oh, what about that bear rape or something like that?"
Did he actually say rape?
Yeah, he said bear rape.
Well, see, I like the bear rape thing's funny because there's no real bear rape in the movie. Sorry.
Yeah.
If anyone's watching and they're like, "God damn it, that's half the reason I was seeing that," he just gets attacked by a bear. He
It's not the
doesn't get
same.
hurt by a bear.
He's just screaming, "Oh, give me an Oscar! Give me an Oscar!"
Actually, the funniest part of that whole movie is there's a part at the end of The Revenant where he just looks at the camera, and I almost felt like he was going to go, "Okay, so like seriously, give me an Oscar." Like he looks directly at the camera, like, "Did I earn it? Am I good enough now?"
That's right at the end.
It is, right? It is.
Bear never came inside of you, so no.
Oh wow, that'd be hilarious if the Oscars came out and told him why they don't give an award every year. Oh man, that's dark. That's his worst nightmare, isn't it? Anyway, moving on.
Moving on. We should probably move on to Q&A soon. So, let's take a little break.
Okay, but to summarize other topics, Fine Bros. Moving on.
Yeah.
No, I want to hear what you have to say
Oh,
about
do you want to talk about the Fine Bros?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay,
Sure.
I'll put
I
the
feel
picture
like-
up yet.
Should we?
I,
There was a
we
lot of
should.
YouTube
Saber did a
drama.
video. Saber did a video on it.
I saw it. I think I liked it. I know I watched it.
Dude, that video was cash money.
Yeah.
That was good timing. I watched a Grade A. I told people this. Grade A under A. He's a great YouTuber. He's really cool story because he had I remember I found him at 30,000 subscribers, and good God Almighty, he's at 930,000 right now. And it's great because he does Microsoft Paint drawings for his stuff, and he does Microsoft, I think, Movie Maker to make his stuff. It's great. But he was talking about the copyright problem with YouTube.
Yeah, I just watched that earlier while you were gone.
What'd you think?
Yeah, it's interesting, and I'm interested in what he has to say about this in the second part.
Yeah, he the copyright stuff with the reaction videos. I never knew how other YouTubers felt about reaction stuff. I guess they really don't like it.
Yeah, reactions are, yeah.
I know that they
especially because it's when you look at some of these reaction videos, it's just no effort at all.
Yeah,
Well,
I agree with that.
he was. Let's see. He was like, guess how many words this guy said in the React video. That's over an hour. That's 30 minutes long. Guess how many words? I guess 50. And he's like 7. I'm like, oh my god, 7 words. That's it.
It's mostly just people watching things.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
I mean, the other thing, this is the bigger problem I have with a lot of YouTube channels is, and it's only there's some channels that do this that I don't hate, but there's certain YouTubers who will only put out content when there's something big in that fandom and something big to talk about, and then otherwise that channel's pretty inactive. And I feel like
You mean the Brony fandom, don't you?
No, not specifically. Or do a lot of people do that? Do a lot of people do the Brony
No,
fandom?
I think there's enough to go to talk about.
Oh, okay.
The fandom's definitely slowed down.
Yeah.
But it's just when people will be like, here's even I don't know, the Steven bomb or something, when people are there's a video every day, and then you go back 2 weeks later and you think, oh, there's got to be something, and you're like, oh, there's not.
Yeah.
There's not. That's weird. So that, but I mean, that's also like how I do. I also think as a counterpoint is I do my channel like I always have stuff coming out, and I understand other people don't necessarily want to do that. But and I've realized now I've gone off on a point that might not be too relevant, but the point, sorry. But I do think with the React videos and even with the streams of watching, the gaming stuff, it does feel a little weird that like so many people just go for the popular thing and put little effort into it, not thinking about. I don't know. I do sometimes
There
think
was
it's what.
there's a YouTuber, I'm not gonna name him, who like got really popular from the Five Nights at Freddy's burst, and then he kind of teetered off. Where I mean, he got a ton of subscribers, like 150,000, something like that. But
Mhm.
then, like, I guess he really couldn't find a voice after that. Like, there's one of my favorite YouTubers named Boogie. He says that he goes, "Find your voice. Like, find
Yeah.
what you're good at." And I completely agree with him. And I've been able to find my voice as of late, which is nice. But for this guy I'm talking about, he couldn't find his voice, and he made a video saying like, "I don't understand. Like, you guys are really into my videos, and now I get like 5,000 views per video. Like, it's abysmal." And it's
Mhm.
because like he goes with a shotgun approach where at first, you have your Five Nights at Freddy's, you have your trends, but people came for that. And now they don't know what they're there for anymore. Like
Yeah.
people will come to you and Paleo for your movie reviews. They're good. That's your bread and butter. You stick with it, and you grow your audience because of it. And maybe this might be a tangent here, but like I would rather have like instead of doing like mass reactions and just trying to get popular and having kind of like a hollowed audience, I'd rather have a smaller audience of people who actually care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but it is. I do think the React thing kind of brought up a bunch of other issues with YouTube that people, I guess, we all don't talk about enough. But it was kind of like I think it was probably one of the shittier business moves and biggest declines I've seen of a YouTuber, probably of all time. I
I
can't
think
think of anyone. I can't think of anyone falling on their face so
Game Grumps
spectacular.
was one before where when
Yeah,
John Trump
but
left. Yeah,
that was like
that's different.
minuscule
I mean, they
compared to
were
this.
losing like pretty much all of our subscribers combined every hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not every hour, but like I mean, it's funny how like when someone loses stuff, someone can gain from it because like I had a big old burst from subscribers from all this from making my video,
Mhm.
and I think today is the third day in a row I've had over 1,000 subscribers in a day.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
Congrats.
thank you, I appreciate that. And
It was a good video. I enjoyed it. But
yeah,
it is.
it's not like it's groundbreaking, but it just goes to show you that like my network manager says this. He goes, 1 second of gold on YouTube is the exact same equivalent of 1 second of shit. Where, like, as long as they're watching, it's all that matters. Like, not that all that matters, but
That's
YouTube doesn't.
encouraging.
Well, YouTube doesn't discriminate. It's like, well, it's a view, it's a view, and that means it could be something as simple as like a reaction video from somebody versus somebody who made like that History of Japan video, which had a lot of effort into it. Uh,
Yeah.
YouTube doesn't really reward effort anymore. I mean, if it attracts an audience, it's awesome. But these, somebody coined, I think it was Racebest. He calls it empty subscribers or empty calorie subscribers, something like that. I forget what they're called.
Mhm.
God, he had a term for it, where they show up. They don't really matter because they'll leave here soon. I don't know. I'm butchering this. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But I mean, not yeah. You were butchering it. More of
Yeah,
it. Sorry. I realized I
I
said yeah.
agree.
That
Yeah.
I was just saying yeah as a anyway. But no, it did make me think about YouTube and like how people can take advantage of the copyright thing, and
Big time.
but also that like I think that they were so selfishly thinking of their channel, they weren't thinking of anything else. And I
Yeah.
think that was like pretty shitty in the end. But it also like I sometimes watch those React videos, like if someone posts them on Facebook or I see that it's like constantly coming up on my recommended videos, but I don't think I would now. And I
I
don't know
mean,
like
they
what the future of it's gonna be. They have to have a hit like real bad right now. If I was them, I would be like, we need to make a video
Well,
so good.
look about it this way. Think about it this way. So, if I was a sponsor for their channel, I'd be furious. I'd be furious.
Oh, I would too. Yeah.
I'd be like, listen, like all these videos you're now making and releasing after this debacle are getting dislikes. My name, my company is attached to it. People might think, oh, you support this channel, well, therefore I will not buy this deodorant or this processor ever again. Which there are people who do behave that way. So it's a huge
Yeah.
business hit to the Fine Bros and their sponsors, who write the checks, are probably the ones who call the shots ultimately. So, I mean, I feel bad for the Fine Bros to a degree. It wasn't like, I mean, it was pretty crappy. It wasn't like Hitler levels of crappy, but it was. I mean, that's a bad example.
Hitler levels are crappy.
But I mean, like, it wasn't like they were like extremely diabolical. I think they just went about it the wrong way, and maybe they might have taken a step too far a little bit. Whatever. There's worse out there. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, this has tarnished their reputation. No one's ever going to forget this.
No, this is like, I think it's like a Milli Vanilli type disaster. It's just like they have to try to get in front of this, and I don't know if they've put out anything since then, but like to me, like it's like when you fuck up this bad, you need to do like, you know what you need to do? You need to do like what Tom Cruise did. You have to make a movie so awesome that even though you don't like him, you're like, yeah, but he made that awesome movie.
Yep, you got to pretty much put it behind you. Just keep moving forward because the
Just,
internet
just like
the-
just hire Brad Bird to make you look cool in a hoodie, and it'll all be good.
Well, the thing is, the internet is in the enormous place, and I was talking about this with my friend yesterday, where like we live in a day and age where every single day there's going to be a brand new wave of new internet users that won't be going anywhere every single day, because every modern generation that's born into existence now are going to have an iPad, an iPod, iPhone, whatever in their hands, laptop. They're going to be connected, so the internet audience is only going to get bigger and bigger as time goes on. So. Yeah, you have a big pool of people. That's why they can recoup from this. Just keep moving forward. Put it behind you. Don't just. You said you're sorry, kind of. Just keep moving forward. That's my advice.
No. Well, I feel like I should go to the bathroom, but so we can do the questions. But someone did make a Hell and Back poster, Paleo.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, not bad enough. Shitty, but not too shitty. I mean, the Taco Bell KFC joke was kind of funny.
Awesome.
Well,
But I think Saber, you're really good at talking about this subject. By the way, not Hell and Back. I mean the Flying Bros thing.
I mean, and I appreciate that. I'm not the best. I'm not the authority in the matter. I mean, because it's true. They weren't trying to trademark the exact word react. They were trying to trademark the series react. But the thing is, YouTube's system is so broken that gives them an unfair advantage where now that like they know, I mean, they might be like, oh yeah, we trademarked the series react, but YouTube won't tell the difference, and I'm quite certain they would have abused it too.
yeah.
Because they've done it before in the past. So that's my problem with that. It's just too like my friend who's a lawyer, he said like that's almost too general of a word to trademark.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's like if I was really popular and I was like, I'm gonna trademark movie review.
Exactly.
No, you can't.
And you can't do that.
No more movie reviews for anybody except Jim.
Yeah, I'll just copyright a
Jim's the
reviewer.
only movie reviewer.
Like
Hey,
I get all the views. Suck it, schmoes. My mortal enemies. I don't think they know who I am. So
Shmo
No.
Yoho?
what? Who's that?
Wait.
No, I mean the schmoes know. You know them?
The who?
The schmoes know.
Never heard of them.
I've
They're
heard
like-
of them, but only until recently when I started doing movie reviews.
They're like, they're not very good. I don't mind. What's his name? That one, Chris.
Chris Stuckman.
Stuckman's fine. I don't like him, but I just don't. He doesn't bother me.
What about Jeremy Johns?
Ugh, never mind. Most of the big people, I'm just like, It's not
Oh,
production wise. It's just the reviews aren't that great. You know.
Oh yeah,
Jim.
well I like Jeremy Johns because his videos are short, and that leads me to believe that maybe someday I can get to his point because his videos are short.
Yep.
I have a
Your
question.
short reviews are good. Most short reviews are not good. Like
Oh,
I like your short reviews, but most short reviews are like kind of, you know.
Jim, but did you ever watch Spill at all?
No, I used to a long time ago. Are they still around, or they became something else?
yeah, it
Right?
became something else called Double Toasted.
No.
I used to love those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we should answer.
Yeah.
All right. Do you guys need a break?
I need to
Um,
pee real.
Okay.
But if
I'm
you
on
guys want
toast.
to answer a question while I do that,
All right.
I'm
Well,
right back.
I'm gonna refill my drink actually. So
okay, we'll be right back.
be right back.
Well,
Are
someone
both of you
asked what's
back?
first, Helen back or Norm of the North? Norm of the North wins. All
Uh,
right, questions.
yes. Questions.
Podcasty
Did you
question.
guys already start answering questions?
No,
No,
I was just answering random ones in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I might leave that in though.
no, that's fine. Um, let me think. Oh,
Um.
should I pick one?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Uh, what's a movie, Ivan? What's a movie you like by a director you don't like? Um,
Uh.
I don't know off the top of my head. That's a movie you like by a director you don't like. Huh. I can't think of one. A director like I really hate. I usually don't like any of their movies, so I don't know. I don't like Roland Emmerich, but I like Independence Day, so I guess that's the only one I can think of right now. That's a lame answer, but anyway. Do
I
you have
don't
one,
know.
Paley?
I can't really think of one. I don't know
I don't.
directors that well.
Yeah, same here.
I
Oh,
do, but I
George
can't.
Lucas, Star Wars.
Um,
Let's see. Space Jam or Looney Tunes back in action?
I haven't
I like
seen
their-
Back in Action,
I
so I
haven't
don't.
either.
Um, is there a certain degree from college I should get if I want a job? I'll land a job in cartooning. Uh, I'm assuming an illustration degree
Yeah.
or in cartooning, which sounds like I'm being a dick, but is actually a major. So I
It
would
is?
try that. Yeah.
Oh. Well, neat.
um, Monsters review or Tanner asks favorite Futurama episode.
Ooh.
Ooh. That's a tough one.
I'm just gonna go with the dog one and play it safe.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do that.
Agreed.
I mean, I can't think of a better one. I'm
I
sure
like
there is.
the one where they all get $300.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, there's a good one.
It was 300 or 100, I thought.
It was 300. And like Leela swims with the sperm whale, and then the sperm whale like throws up ambergris.
I like the one with oh shoot. What was it? They attacked like a Death Star, or I forget. Whatever. Never mind. Oh no, the one where like Fry went back in time, or like into some dream world and spoke to his mother, who like said like we looked for you, Fry, and we couldn't find you, or something like that. That was sweet. That was
Oh,
really
yeah, that was good. Yeah,
that was good. That show has surprisingly can be very like emotional.
it was. That was a good show. I liked
It
it.
was a really good show, better than Simpsons in my opinion.
Um, I don't know if I want to go there, but better than Simpsons when Futurama was on. I'll say that.
Yeah. General Gaming asks, if something is your first project and you're passionate for it, what can you do to make it good, or will it suck?
Oh, hold up. Read that one back one more time.
It says
Yeah,
if
that's an interesting wording there.
Yeah.
if something is your first project and you are passionate for it, what can you do to make it good, or will it suck?
So if something is your passionate subject, a project.
Or no, it's
Yeah.
like your first
Yeah,
project and you're passionate about it.
Yeah.
What can you do to make it? Well, here's the thing about first projects, and you even though you're really passionate about it, and you should have a lot of passion about it, most likely your first project will suck.
Yep,
But
absolutely.
but that's good because you need to have that not be as good as you liked or not be great, so you have a area to improve in,
Oh, can
and
I
so
answer
that you can
something?
you can oh, okay. Well, what were you gonna? Well, let me just say so
Go
you
ahead,
can
Finch.
no so you have area to improve, and you go, well, I learned this, so now my next thing I know how to do this. So it's
Yeah.
really just doing that first thing will help you so much that you'll grow so much from it that it's an essential experience, basically. But anyway, sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, I'm sorry. I was gonna interrupt you. I'm sorry, but one thing I want to add is, like we mentioned, like you'll never be perfect. Your first project will suck or something like that. I'm gonna rephrase something. Okay, so there's a good chance that in hindsight it will look crappy. I remember when I made my first video project for YouTube, I thought this is the greatest thing I've ever made, and I look back on
Vanity
it.
of the Brody.
Exactly. But I look back on it and I'm like, oh, I see a lot of improvement, bad colors, bad recording, bad editing a lot. But guess what? You've got to climb those, steps of the ladder to get to the top. And it's also a good mentality to have that you'll never be perfect. There's always room for improvement. Like you're going to
Yeah.
make mistakes. You're going to innovate somehow. You're going to learn something new. You're going to combine something. It could be absolutely groundbreaking for you, and nobody else could have done. That's what makes people rise above the others. So like, just keep trucking on. Like I love looking at people who are like, here's my art in 2010, here's my art in 2016, and you see huge rooms for, or I'm sorry, you see huge bits of improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would just try and do as much tests and don't just release it, but don't just release it before you're ready because a lot of people do that with early stuff. But I would say when you do release it, don't like keep it private. Like keep it private when maybe you have more stuff, but that audience reaction is also like so important because one, you might even get some fans from that early thing you hate, which happened to me with my first cartoon way back when, and that'll help you out tremendously. So, or if they hate it, it just helps you grow from it. I mean, it really like it just I know it's like you're scared because obviously he's writing like how do I make it not shitty, or was that how he worded it, or he or she? So I would just, don't think about that. Just try to make it the best you can, and hopefully it'll work out. But making it will help the next thing work out even more. So
Yeah.
It's a series of getting better, of learning from like past mistakes and moving on.
yeah. Well, I mean, if you've been someone who's thinking about making things creatively, making something will advance you a lot more than the years and years you have of just thinking about it. Like you will grow so much from making something. It'll be remarkable. So think of it that way. Because that's what I really learned from making stuff. But anyway, moving on. Sorry.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah. No, I mean that was kind of a question to go on about, I guess.
Yes, it was.
Carlos Navarez asks, did you know about the co-writer of Monsters Inc. Died today? Yeah,
I did know.
I saw that. It's the screenwriter. What's his name?
Big Hero 62.
Oh, he did
Yeah.
Beard Cross. Oh, I forget.
Screenwriter of Monsters Inc. and Big Hero 6. Oh, it should pop up.
It was on Reddit.
Daniel Gerson dies at 49.
That's young with
sad.
cancer.
Yeah.
I hate cancer.
Cancer's just been like ruining everything lately,
This needs to fuck off.
or forever. Why should I say lately? Forever.
No, I mean, no, I think it actually has gotten worse as of late.
Yeah, well, with that week we lost like Bowie and Alan Rickman and Lemmy right before.
Yeah.
It was. It's just been tough. I don't know. It scares the shit out of me.
It's frustrating, as humans who we're used to being able to do a lot to accomplish a lot more than our predecessors. To still have something like this that exists that puts the brakes on everything sucks.
Yeah.
Where you're kind of at its mercy in a way. Kind of.
Yeah.
Here's another question from Alec Greer. Thoughts on Weird Al Yankovic as the main character in the next Disney XD animated series? Yeah, I was going to put that on the topics, but I forgot to.
Weird Al?
Yeah, Weird Al's going to be starring in a cartoon.
Yeah.
Like,
well, he
just...
has been in cartoons before.
Yeah.
But this is his first series, right?
Yeah, like it's not just a cameo. It's like this is his series.
Cool.
I mean, I think he's a great choice, so I'll probably watch it if Disney XD puts it on at a regular time. That's funny. Yeah. Jaden or Knock Force fan, so I feel like I have to answer this.
Oh my god.
Said Futurama or Rick and Morty. I can't. That's not fair. I mean, first off, you broke paleo, so that's that. I don't know. I like both a lot. So I wouldn't want to do that because Futurama is in a place now that Rick and Morty hasn't reached, and that's not saying Rick and Morty's not enough. It's just like when Rick and Morty's over or has 8 seasons, then it's a little more comparable. But I don't know. I think I might have. I don't know. Futurama's first season is really good, so I would just wait on that one.
Yeah.
But it's a hard choice, man. I don't know.
Ozzy All asks, with Gravity Falls coming to an end, do you have your favorite episodes?
The clone one, which is obviously my Twitter background. But I love that one. And Time Traveling Pig is one that just like really, that's just like heartbreak. I don't know. There's so many. The first season I rewatched so many times. I am going to be sad to see it go because I think it was such a great show, and it was like one of the few cartoons. It reminded me of when Adventure Time and regular show started, where I was like, holy shit, this is like a classic, And I felt that. I definitely feel that way about Gravity Falls. It's like the first.
But would you rather see it end like this or continue on like The Simpsons have?
I like the way it's ending. I think that's going to be the way more animated shows are going, is ending sooner, because everyone grew up with The Simpsons being the big influence, and seeing what that's become is like is horrifying.
It is horrifying. I don't know why it's on still going on. It's ridiculous.
I mean, I feel like South Park has and even regular show that's been on for both shows that have been on for a really long time have managed to keep it fresh, but like Adventure Time has like.
Well, South Park's in current events. They're pretty much good to go.
They've been good, but I mean, I could go on about Adventure Time's problems, but that's a show that I feel like should have ended a couple years ago, and would have stayed popular. And I think Gravity Falls will remain a big deal for a long time because it never really declined at all, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, even the last couple, I was like, holy shit, like they're running on all cylinders. So.
Yeah, but as far as my favorite episode, I'd probably say Seuss and the Real Girl.
Oh,
I
that
really
was
like
good. That was good.
I love him. Oh, hey, dudes.
Yeah,
what about you,
Seuss, I have a Seuss shirt.
Be honest, guys. I have so many episodes of Gravity Falls I need to catch up with still.
Well, you'll be able to do it soon.
Oh, why?
Yeah, because it's ending next weekend.
Oh, good. I'll catch up with it. Like the last episode I saw was with some pterodactyl.
Oh yeah.
and how
Wait, that's
like
an
Uncle
early
Stan
episode.
punched it. Yeah, I've got a lot to catch up on. I like the one with where Wendy had sex with Stan, or no, not Stan. What's his name? Dipper. That's the one. That's the one, Jim.
All right. Here's an interesting question from Ellie or Tyler. What is a TV network you hate the most?
I noticed that question. I was wondering if anyone was going to pick it.
I already know my answer, but it's gonna be controversial.
Um, Probably like I don't know. Pass. What does Saber say?
I'll also say BET.
BET.
I hate it. I hate it. And it's not because like it just seems so polarizing to me. And I don't know. I'm sure there are people who can tell me that why I'm wrong, but I feel like there's an unnecessary aggressiveness to it all, and I can't really put my finger. I need to research it and think this out more often. But whenever I watch it, I'm like, oh, this is just. It just seems so forced. Like I
Yeah,
wish
just watch the Boondocks episode where they make fun of BET, and that episode was never aired. I don't think because I think Turner owns both BET and Cartoon Network, so they was like, well, we can't air this.
I remember watching though on YouTube or somewhere. It's like black entertainment television is actually there to destroy black people's lives or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, BET's pretty bad. TLC is terrible.
Yeah, I agree.
With all the stuff that's on that.
Oh wait, actually, now that you bring it up, I know of two that I don't like, and that's MSNBC and Fox News. And my problems with those is anytime I go to relatives' houses, they're watching one or the other, and it's usually to agree with them, and it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life because I would never watch a show like that just agreed with my opinions all the time. And that's like the only thing I watch. And like anytime I go to the suburbs, it's like there's this channel that you're just like totally, absolutely agree. And I was like, this is like your life, like just having a channel that reaffirms your opinions. Like
I agree.
that seems so weird to me.
Yeah.
Like that's like something I just can't ever understand. Like
it's creepy.
I mean, I could watch like a video and see a review, and there's a critic or something, and they'd have similar opinions. Maybe like, oh, that's an interesting point, or something like that. But then I'd watch like a show with a plot or something else, and it just seems like I've seen people watch it for hours on end, and it's like I think that is the worst thing. It is like seriously some of the dumbest crap you could watch. It's like not good for your brain, and I mean that on both sides of the spectrum. It's like it's not good to watch propaganda if that's supporting your opinion, because it's basically like it blinds you, and that is rotting your brain on TV. Like people said like cartoons were rotting your brain, but this is rotting your brain because it's just like reaffirming what you already think is such a bland viewing experience that you're not challenging yourself, and that's probably why that's absolutely. See, these channels are the reason Hail Caesar isn't doing better, and I blame both of them. No, but I don't know. I don't agree with that kind of viewing experience. I think that's super lame. Anyway.
But well, yeah, my uncle's house, they used to always have Fox News on, but but now they have, which I'm not sure because it's kind of boring, but they have like HGTV always on, so it's always about making like stuff in houses.
Hey, at least they're better.
Yeah, at least that's better. I'd rather have something like that and like the Food Network, I guess, than Fox News or MSNBC.
Guy Fieri heading to Flavor Town. I love that. And I always will. He is a great man.
Carlos Navarez asks, "Who will make the better Deadpool review?" Jim. It's always Jim.
What? Oh, thanks, Paleo. That's nice. I mean, I guess you're also seeing Deadpool, Paleo. I mean, I don't know as much about the comics, so Paleo, I don't know what he knows about
I don't know
Deadpool.
anything about it either. I know Tom
Oh,
does, because Tom read it before it was cool, apparently. Um,
oh, okay.
It's always
I mean,
that
I
way.
think I'm curious. I mean, don't say who's going to be better because I don't look at reviews that way. I would just say everyone's going to be different, and I think it'll be. I'm excited to see Paleos, and I'm assuming Tom's going to do one, and
yeah.
I'm excited to see a lot of people's. Uh, but it'll be interesting. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about it, but I mentioned this on Twitter. It's a weird movie because all the ads are like Deadpool, and then I'm like, the hell is this movie about? It's like every ad is just like Deadpool, and you're like, okay, I get that's what it's about. Oh, that's who it's starring, but again, what's the plot?
Deadpool.
Yeah, it's like you don't know. You're just like Deadpool. And I've asked people on Twitter were responding to me, like being like, "Yeah, I've asked friends," and they're like, "Yeah, but Deadpool's in it," and that seems to be the consensus.
Um, Toxic Celestial asks, favorite Tarantino movie and moment.
I mean, to me, it's like Pulp Fiction's always number one.
Yeah, Pulp Fiction is the best, like regardless of
I,
anything.
I mean, it's just like I can't not. That's such a good movie. It's like how can you? Moment, I don't even. To me, it'd probably be something for Pulp Fiction too. So it's like
Yeah.
either the dance with Tarantino and Uma Thurman, or the time. Actually, I wasn't allowed to see it as a kid because of the scene where he accidentally shoots the guy. I
Where he
was
accidentally
not.
shoots a Phil Lamar.
The Philomar when they shoot him. That's I wasn't allowed to see it for like a long time because of that. Because my parents were worried I would like be weirded out at laughing at violence. Clearly, they were wrong about that one. But yeah, but that to me is like a big moment because every time I laugh, I think I laugh out of spite because I wasn't allowed to watch it. Okay, sorry. Saber, do you have a question?
Um, I actually have not been keeping up with it.
If you don't, I have one
Go ahead, you think.
that's pretty interesting. From Salty Stuff. Who is a movie person, living or dead, that you would like to have a dinner with and talk about anything?
A movie person,
A
like could be
movie.
an actor.
Yeah, an actor, director, whatever.
Christopher Lee.
Oh.
Oh wow.
I'd be
See,
entranced with him.
I was I was actually thinking about this today because I'm doing my John Waters stuff, and I would like to ask him like a bunch of questions, but there's like so many people who I would like John Ford or William
Oh
Wellman
yeah. You
or
ever see that
Spielberg.
one interview of John Ford where he's just like pissed at everything?
I mean, that's you have to be more specific because that's like every interview with John Ford. That's like, but I think you mean the one where it's the movie John Ford on John Ford.
Yeah, I
Where
think
it's like
so.
him in front of Monument Valley or something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, he was not a happy camper. He was a nicer guy than he comes off. Like John Wayne was more of a prick than John Ford was,
Huh.
supposedly, from what I've read. But John Ford apparently although John Ford would hire family members on set and give them jobs just specifically to fuck with them, which is like that's a amount of Hollywood power. I don't think anyone's ever. But he also is probably the most influential filmmaker ever
Hmm.
because he influenced everyone from Kurosawa to Spielberg to Orson Welles. I mean, literally, they asked him like, "Who influenced you when you made Citizen Kane?" And Orson Welles said, "John Ford, John Ford, and John Ford." I mean, like he. I always say he's the most influential filmmaker because I can't think of anyone who has such a large reaching influence. I kind of think Spielberg will probably overtake him by the end of my life, but Spielberg's someone who, if I had dinner with, I would want to be like, so dude, like, why do you produce all those Transformers movies, and what the fuck's up with that?
Buddy.
That would be my opening question. I would be like, dude, like, I know you make a lot of money off of these Transformers movies, but like, I know you also have better taste than this, so like, what's going on? Like,
Uh,
just give me the details.
I'd like to talk to Orson Welles and have him drunk, and that'd be hilarious.
Doesn't do anything.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, the French.
Ah, the French. I love
Let's
that so
go.
much. It's so goofy.
The French.
This is California champagne.
Inspired by that same excellency.
Oh, someone asked, Calico Plus, if I'm saying that right. I'm sorry if I say anyone's name. It's not. It's because I can't read good. Um, it said, speaking of shows made for preschool children, do you have any favorite preschool shows growing up? Yeah, Sesame Street. I did watch Eureka's Castle.
Yeah.
What the
But
hell is that?
Oh, you don't know Eureka's Castle? It was on Nickelodeon. It was Nickelodeon's first.
I didn't have cable.
Oh. Saber, I think Paleo was poor.
Oh, Paleo, you missed out, dude. Lucas Castle, puppet sex everywhere.
What?
No, but what?
I'm just kidding.
No,
Oh
but
yeah,
I watched the wrong thing.
I've never seen this in my life. The hell is this?
it was on Nick. Now Paleo's like, what?
Angry.
Sesame Street was kind of my jam when I was the preschool kid, but I did watch Yo Gabba Gabba a lot, but I wasn't a preschooler.
Oh yeah, you definitely weren't then.
No. Paleo's like, wait, how old are you? That doesn't make sense. I was so into Yo Gabba Gabba for a little bit.
No.
I look at that as the preschool version of Wonder Shows.
I like the Magic School Bus, which is coming back actually on Netflix.
That's really good. I liked Thomas the Tank Engine. I liked.
I watched Barney a lot when I was a kid.
I never got into Barney
because dinosaurs.
Oh.
And then I saw Jurassic Park and I was like, Barney's lame.
I liked God, what else did I like as a kid? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's not
That's not preschool.
I know. I said that. I don't know. I can't really think of anything. I don't think I watched a ton of preschool shows.
I mean, that's an era you're not going to remember a lot from. So, I mean, I watched Masters of the Universe a lot, but that's not a preschool show. You know, now someone
Did they really have that back then, though? Did they in the 80s?
they had that. I'm that old for Masters of the Universe.
Jim, back when you were born in the 1950s, what was it like?
Well, we actually didn't have shows. My parents would just hand me two sticks and I'd entertain myself.
Were they good sticks?
No, it was the 50s. All sticks were bad.
Oh.
Everyone knows this. The 50s weren't a good decade for sticks.
Was this
That's
after
World War
II?
No, I'm not. Come on, I wasn't in World War II. I was in Korea and Vietnam. Let's not go too far. Come on.
You're Clint Eastwood in disguise.
Anyway, so when I was in Korea, next question.
All right. Oh, this is a good question from General Gaming. What makes a likable jerk in media, and why do I like characters like Cartman but not Peter Griffin? Can you explain?
Likeable jerks?
Like BoJack. BoJack's a likable
Probably.
jerk.
You know what it is, and I was thinking about this actually with a lot of characters, is that you have to see growth,
Yes.
and that growth has to. You have to see growth and change. And actually, I've been reading a bunch of screenwriting books, and one of the things about an act change is usually when a character makes a decision they can't go back from, and that's like a decision in life. Like there's certain decisions in life you can't go back from. And I think the problem I actually thought about this with Adventure Time, which is a little off question, but the problem with like the Marceline's miniseries was that all these changes happen and then suddenly it all reverts back. And that's the worst thing for drama because suddenly it's like none of that mattered. And with BoJack, every decision he makes matters on that show. Same with Cartman, and South Park in particular is actually a really well written show because every event, it's like really good writing is this and this create that, and that therefore creates this, and this person reacts to this way, and it's like ripples in a lake or something, you know. And Peter Griffin is
Ugh.
still in the same house. I mean, he changed jobs, but it doesn't feel like that guy's changed. And Cartman in season 2 is not like Cartman now, and you can detect a change, and that's probably why.
I know a good
That's
example.
fine. What?
If you're
What?
one of my favorites, Vegeta.
Oh,
Vegeta? What's that?
Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. What's that? Vegeta from
Sorry.
Dragon Ball Z. You're fine. Because actually, it is, I think, a vegetable seasoning. But Vegeta is, he's this, what's the word I'm looking for? Anti-hero in Dragon Ball Z.
yeah.
And he comes in as a villain at first, and he's a villain for like at least like 3 sagas, and then he finally has a redemption where he grows, and he's still kind of an ass, but he's a likable ass. Where, like, he's that bad boy character, that guy who plays by his own rules, who will not hesitate to kill somebody. Unlike Goku, who's oh, maybe they might change. So, I think like there's a certain side of every human where they like that. They don't live that life, so like to see it in other people. That badass, that guy who goes by the beat of his own drum. But there's a difference between being a badass and being like a dick. Like Cartman's a likable dick because he's just so vile and hilarious. Peter's more of an annoying dick, where it's like, ugh, you're just that annoying kid in high school who keeps making fart jokes that people don't find funny.
Yeah,
Does that make any sense?
somebody said Master Shake, Bender, and Rick are the best jerks.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But Rick has consequences.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes that character so great. I mean, even at the end of season 2, I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
So.
All right. I think we're done for tonight.
Okay.
Episode.
I'm a little
Yeah.
tired. Yeah, it was a good episode.
So we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks where we'll talk about Deadpool and Zoolander 2.
Are you seeing Zoolander 2?
Yeah.
I don't think I am.
Oh, really?
What?
I just come on. I don't know. Sorry. I just you know what the other problem is, and this is gonna upset everyone. I haven't seen Zoolander, and
Oh.
No, Joe.
yeah, it's kind of one of my bigger cinematic omissions, but I haven't seen Zoolander, and I kind of care a little more about Deadpool, and I kind of think Deadpool's going to be a hit, and I have a sneaking suspicion Zoolander 2 is not going to do that well. But
Yeah, well,
maybe I'm wrong.
yeah, well, the first one didn't do well either, so it's
That's
kind of
true.
it's kind of weird that they're making a sequel to a cult hit. So,
But Anchorman didn't do that great. Anchorman 2 did a lot better, so.
well, yeah, I guess it's because after DVD sales and whatever, and it got more popular. So I guess.
Yeah. But
Anyway, yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Sorry my
You-
camera wasn't working.
Yeah, nobody can see anybody waving.
Bye.
So
I'm
I'm gonna
waving.
wave for both of you.
I'm so waving right now.
Why am I holding that? Okay.
I'm,
All right,
I'm,
let me stop it. Stop
I'm
it.
waving so hard right now. You guys don't even know.
Hard. I'm so hard right now.